You know, Gal, I was just thinking about Frankenstein.
Yeah, and?
I mean, how does anybody like that ever meet somebody?
Well, you don't, really.
Yeah, imagine him walking into a bar.
He wouldn't get served.
He wouldn't know what he was ordering.
No. Welcome to Jack's Horror Corner.
I guess.
Yeah, what he said.
So Dr. Frankenstein gets bored of medicine, so decides to invent life. You know, instead. Yeah, so he decides to build a man out of spare parts in a crumbling tower during a lightning storm. Which is like, why didn't I think of that? There's lightning, there's shouting, there's even a hunchback named Fritz.
Yeah, and the fool steals the wrong brain. Ha!
Yeah, and now we've got a man-child, built like a tank, and only 4 minutes old.
Everybody panics.
The monster wanders around.
Confused, lonely, and immediately blamed for everything that's happening around him. Which feels kind of unfair, honestly.
Frankenstein, meanwhile,
After creating human life, decides to go for, you know, a lie down. Creating monsters is tiring work, am I right? So the doctor just leaves the guy there, in pain, brand new, surrounded by a little man that genuinely doesn't like him. Poke, pokey, poke.
Yeah, and Fritz spends the whole movie poking somebody that really doesn't understand the concept of poking.
Which, you know, is brave. And stupid.
The monster breaks free!
And everyone acts shocked. Which is, you know, being optimistic.
He tried his best.
Dr. Frankenstein then realises far too late that inventing life comes with some responsibility. I'm sure I've heard that somewhere before.
Which is unfortunate, because he already bailed. Now the monster's loose!
And nobody wants to help. They just shout and chase and panic.
Yeah, a classic response to a rampaging monster.
The monster doesn't know what doors are. I mean, he's not evil. He's just new.
And as we all know, nobody's kind to someone new.
Then the little girl comes along. It's a quiet moment. And the monster finally meets somebody who isn't afraid of him.
Yeah, and they throw flowers into the water, and they float, and it's peaceful for about 5 seconds. And then it isn't.
And suddenly this stops being a horror film and becomes a tragedy. And the monster sadly doesn't even understand what he's done.
But the villagers do!
Like, immediately.
Yeah, torches come out, no discussion and no sympathy.
Just fire.
They chase him, they trap him, they even burn a windmill just to solve a problem that they themselves helped create. Oh, the irony.
Which, you know, feels on brand.
Meanwhile, Frankenstein survives. The monster does not, or does he?
Yeah, which feels backwards and completely correct.
Because ultimately this wasn't the monster's story. It was more Dr. Frankenstein's.
And he has to live with what he did.
And that's the horror here. Karloff doesn't need lines, and he doesn't need speeches.
Yeah, he just sort of stands there. But you kind of understand him anyway.
Yeah, which is rare.
Yeah, and for something this old, it still hurts in the right places. And that's kind of magical in a way.
It's slow, it's simple, and a bit sad. Oh.
And it works, because the film lets you sit with it. So, Frankenstein, 1931, gets 5 skulls out of 5. It's beautiful, it's uncomfortable, and it still manages, nearly 100 years later, to get under people's skin. And make them feel the feels, you know? Which is impressive.
Yeah, and I give it 5 for emotional damage.
Yeah, it does leave a mark. Like this video if you enjoyed the misery, and you know, subscribe if you're still here, bolts and all, and welcome to another edition of Jack's Horror Corner.
Unfortunately.
And scene.